Hi and welcome to the Link4Growth news update. I'm Carol Dodsley and I have with me Chris Ogle. Chris, come and say hello.
Yeah, hi Carol, how you doing, alright?
I'm good. The sun's not shining today though, so that's not quite as nice, but it's nice and warm in here.
Yeah, I think we might have had it for the summer, to be honest.
No, it will be back.
Ah.
Trust me, it will be back. We'll make sure it comes back. And even if the sun isn't shining outside, it's always shining wherever Link4Growth is, so there's absolutely no problem. So, so let's get started. I think you're going to talk to us about network expansion.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I've been out and about quite extensively this week. I've done close to 1,000 miles, so I've been out and about seeing people, and there's quite a bit going on. In fact, I think in September we're likely to be launching 12 new events just in the month of September. So everyone's been really busy out there doing stuff in the what would otherwise be quiet summer. So let me get cracking. So we've got an event in Newcastle, an event in Derbyshire, event in Penrith, another one up in Durham and Redcar. I think it's Richmond or Redmond, or I always get confused with that one. We've got one in the West Country in Stroud starting. We've got, I believe, a breakfast in Central London, although I don't know for sure. Hillingdon, I think we've got something. Ealing, I think we've got Islington lunch starting, and there is some hint of something happening out towards Hatch End as well, but I haven't got details on that. We've got in South Wales tarts, we've got a curry, we've also got talk of a Sunday luncheon, which is quite interesting as well. Luton, up in Lutonia, we've got stuff happening at Southend, and Newport and Cumbraen as well, stuff happening down there as well that I'm hoping to move along. So loads and loads of stuff happening at the moment, which is great. And I think there's a rugby event in there, not in rugby football, but an event in rugby as well that's in there as well. So as you can see, we've not been idle.
I mean, soon it's going to be at the stage where you are not going to be able to tell people on this update what's coming up, because it is really starting to expand now, isn't it?
Absolutely, and more on that about the news updates later in my surprise end package.
Whoa! I'm looking forward to that, because I don't even know what it is for anyone listening. I have a list of the topics and I know that there are announcements, but Chris never tells me what they're going to be until we get live on the show. So let's go on to, have you got any shout outs this week, Chris?
I have one particular shout out this week actually, which is for Sue Esplin. Now I'm going to mention her again in a minute, but I saw Sue twice last week, once in Saltburn, where we had a drinks event, and again the following morning in a breakfast event in Sophiles, which is just outside Redcar. So big shout out to Sue, who just come back from a holiday, but she's really buzzing, and I'm going to talk about her in a second again, but big shout out to her, big thanks to her, because she's really supporting Jerry up there.
Awesome. So that just one shout out this week. So let's have a look at network education and learning.
Right, okay, well this is really for the community hosts and community leaders and district leaders. We're in order to assist in ensuring that all of the information that is being sort of passed around in Link4Growth gets out to those all-important people. We're going to set up a new community in Google Plus under the G Plus, under the main Link4Growth account, specifically for those people, because even things like this news update, not everyone gets to see it, but that's because not everybody gets notified of it. We have to work on the circle as well that we share it with, because I'm not quite sure who's in there and who's being updated. But the idea behind this group is to improve communication across the piece, share best practice, and make sure that that people start getting connected with their colleagues, because it is really like a big organisation. Get connected with their colleagues right across the country. So I'm hoping that that's going to help with the education and learning. And we've also, in the last couple of weeks, been running a few workshops which people have been now able to take advantage of as part of the new initiative. And we ran a Google Plus one this one. You ran it this week, which I believe was well received, and the Facebook one was earlier in the week. And there's quite a few people have been on both of those now, so that's been really good, and I can feel a sense of people starting to get more excited about what we're doing and talking about the training because of that initiative we've introduced.
Yeah, I think that is important, because if people don't experience something, you know, it's a bit like me. Somebody could say, well, there's a shop down the road that does such and such, but until I've experienced it or they've experienced it, you can't really talk to people about something, you know, because you can say, well, yeah, it's there, but you don't know what the feeling is like. You don't know what it has there. And it's the same with the education and the workshops. You know, to actually come along and attend them, you then, you build your own skills, but you also get that buzz of, wow, this is really great, and I can now go and tell people it works like this. And if they ask me questions, I'm not going to stand there and go, well, I don't know, I haven't been on them. So I think that's really great that we're getting more people doing that. And also that community, I think, will be brilliant, because we've got people all over the country that don't get the chance to get together, and it's so much easier to share when they're in one place and they know they have one place to go to find information and to actually share those links and everything. So I'm looking forward to that community.
Yep, no, it's going to be good. Okay, one last thing, we've got a LinkedIn workshop coming up on this Friday, so any community hosts, community leaders out there, or in fact anybody that's, that really is collecting names on LinkedIn but precious little else, do book yourself into that. That's the 22nd, and you can learn loads on that, and it's so do get yourself booked in on that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well, because I don't really do enough on LinkedIn. I've got loads and loads of names, but don't really know what to do with them because I spend most of my time on Google Plus. So we've got that one coming up next Friday, and I believe it's from 10 till 12:30.
Okay.
Have we got any other workshops this week?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Good stuff. Okay, so let's move on. And no, now I'm picking up. Alex has stopped saying moving on, and now I'm starting to say let's move on. Talk about these.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The Link4Growth pins. Now, these are for sort of recognising good work that's been done by people in Link4Growth. As you know, it's a not-for-profit organisation, and people do volunteer quite a lot of time in Link4Growth to ensure that we get these events off the ground and some of the admin work takes place. And I noticed this week that Sue Esplin was wearing one up at event, so that means Jerry had given her one. So, and I'm not quite sure whether anybody else as yet has given out any of the pins, except for I have to district leaders. So big congratulations to Sue there for that, and well done Jerry for rewarding Sue in that way. So and she was wearing it very proudly, which is lovely to see, because actually it is in recognition of that really work that they put in, and it's all voluntary. So fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's great. I don't know whether we'll have to talk to Jerry and see whether or not she took a picture of it, because it would be great to see people that are feeling so, you know, sort of proudly going, hey, look, I've got a pin, to actually create some pictures and like a photo album of people as well.
Well, that might be something we can do on Pinterest as well. We've got the L4G people, but we could have one for the people who've got who've been recognised with pins. That'd be quite nice as well. So.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. So that's coming up soon. There's an announcement that we didn't even know we were going to announce. So tell us about your highlights of the week, because I know that you said you've travelled over 1,000 miles. What have the highlights been?
Yeah, I mean, this is just. I mean, it's really nice to get out and about and do the tours, as it were. And you know, one of my goals is to visit all the towns that have got more than 8,000 people. Some below that as well, but it'd be nice to and get pictures of these places, because I'm not sure how many people have actually been to all the towns in the UK that have got more than 8,000 people. I'm not sure it'll be many. But on my way up to the north east, I stopped by in Peterborough and met up with Nikki, and we went to see the new venue in Spalding, which is I can't remember the name of it now, but it's basically a farm shop with a tea room attached to it. really, really nice venue and a very traditional English venue. So that's a real step up from the last venue that we had in Spalding, where we weren't really very welcome, to be honest. I don't know why, but it just didn't appear to be that way. But the new one, they're quite keen for us to be there. It's going to support a local community farm shop, which is brilliant. So that was nice to see that. And then I was up in Saltburn. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen the pictures I took of Saltburn, but this is like halfway up a cliff, this building. And it's got some amazing panoramic views. I took a 360-degree panoramic picture, which unfortunately we haven't got for this show, but it is there, and it just gives you an idea of how really lovely that place is. And I'm muting that as the top venue at the moment in terms of scenery. We've got to see whether people can top it, but great venue. And my other highlight.
If you had uploaded it onto Google Plus for me, I could go over and I could actually show people that. But I'm just having a look at your photos and I can't see that you have.
No, it's not there yet, but I will upload it. And the last highlight really for the week was that the Link4Growth book is now out. So finally that's been published. I did order one yesterday from Amazon, and they said I would get it today, but I haven't. Otherwise, I would have been.
There you go. There's a screenshot.
Yep.
It's not a screenshot. That is actually live on Amazon. And if I, let's click on the image. There you go. There's a bigger image of the book.
Yeah, so that's out. You can order it online. I put in an order for a load of books, not straight through Amazon, but hopefully I'll get them in the coming week. I'm down in Cardiff on Thursday, so I might be able to take delivery of them down there, and then we can get them out to the meetings and with the district leaders. So yeah, thanks to everybody really who contributed on that. There's a whole series of acknowledgements in the book for the people that actually took part in the editing process, the grammar and the cover, and a whole range of people contributed to that book. So it's written, and the author is Link4Growth because it was a collaborative effort, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing the final version because I did some of the proofreading and read through it when it was in the edit stages, but I haven't seen the actual final version yet.
To be honest, nor have I. had Tim Watkins. Shout out for Tim there. Tim Watkins down in Cardiff was doing the final punctuation and grammar edit, and they were reading it out loud, him and Julia, who works with him, and going through and just reading it and making sense of it, because that's a good way of doing it. And they said, who do we send it to when we've done that? I said, just I trust you, just get on with it. So that's it. So I haven't seen it. I wasn't going to read it again, to be honest. I've read it enough.
Oh dear, I think that's really good. But it's so nice to see that it is now there, because we've been talking about it for a while, and I know that you put in so much work on it to actually get it, and then you took on board everybody's comments and feedbacks to make it a real collaborative effort. And that is one of the things that I love about Link4Growth, is it is all about people coming together and supporting each other and collaborating, and we could see that happening with the book.
Yep, definitely.
So have you got any tips this week, or no, let's start with tools for growing districts.
Right, okay. Well, I mentioned last week that the attendance, the new attendee cards, which are the postcards that some of the people have probably noticed me talking about during the week, are now out. And those postcards are much more in line with kind of the new person's journey, if you like, when they first come to a Link4Growth event and what happens next. So they're very much more supportive. The old cards, they had stuff on there which was no longer relevant and stuff, so we've reworked the cards and explains what's going to happen next after the meeting, and also captures information about how we can connect with them on the social media platforms they might be using, and also some information about how they can connect with us on the social media platform. So I believe that the card's going to work much, much better for us, and hopefully we'll get a lot more of the district leaders using them, because they have been, they've kind of been there, but not really fulfilling too much of a purpose. So there's been a bit of a slow uptake with them, but now we've had 5,000 printed, we can get them all out, and we can really start to use them in earnest.
Brilliant. Sounds great. You have to send me one so I can see what people are using.
Yeah, well, actually, I've got some of the old ones here. I don't think I've got any of the new ones, to be honest, but maybe next week.
Oh dear. So what about, so that's a great tool for helping people to grow the districts and helping both the people, the DLs and the community hosts and everybody find out more about people who come and attend events, but also it's a great way for us to connect deeper, not just at the events. So I think that's really good that those are coming out, and hope everybody's going to start using those. Yep. Have you got any tips of the week?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of conversations. I mean, I've been around, so I've been to different events, and there's a couple of things really. It's really important when people when they attend an event, that they understand the difference between what Link4Growth is doing, which is community building, and business networking. And it's our duty really to explain the difference, to at least get people to understand the difference. And the difference is that Link4Growth as a community building organisation is about 100% inclusivity of the people in the community. And that's different to business networking, which is focused on 30% of the community, which is in business. So we are basically saying, you know, anybody in the community can come to Link4Growth events. They might be unemployed, they may be working for a charity or a social organisation or the council. It really matters not a job, because they are in the community. And if they're in the community, then they should be able to come along to events and talk to other people that are local to them in the community. And that we have to get that message across to people, because it was a couple of times this week I've heard people say, oh, Link4Growth, that's business networking, and it isn't. And it's our duty to make sure that people are aware of that. And what we're doing is we're focusing on people and relationships, taking responsibility and taking action, as opposed to focus on money and blaming other people for when things aren't right. It is down to us all as individuals to do our little bit. And really, I feel like it's quite an important message we need to get across. And even if it's just that 4 or 5 sentences, which I've just said there, it's enough, because it's very obvious that it's different.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, quite often I hear you saying, and the other district leaders that I talk to, you know, somebody came and said, when are we going to show our business cards? And it isn't about showing the business cards, it's about meeting people. Because when you meet people and you go to give and you see how you can help other people, automatically your business will grow if you are in business, because that's just the natural evolution of building relationships. But going somewhere and just showing your business card, and that's the most important thing, actually is quite off-putting for a lot of people.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that sort of leads into collaborating, doesn't it? Have we got any specific collaborations this week?
I mean, I met up with the Michael Green Foundation. I can't remember, was it Monday? But so much happened in the week. I can't quite remember whether it seems ages ago. I think it was Monday afternoon. So there's a great collaboration going with the Michael Green Foundation, who are a charity that's set up to make people aware of diabetes type 2. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with them at the moment, and Link4Growth is going to work very closely with them, because health and wellness is something that's it's at the centre and at the core of what Link4Growth is all about. You know, there is a huge problem with diabetes type 2. There's about 3 million people with it, and 3 million people walking around who've got it and don't even know. So, you know, and if you don't look after your health, no one else is going to either. So it is down to each of us to take responsibility on that aspect too. So it's a good collaboration with them going on. And also, Watford Women's Centre are organising a Cheese and Wine event, and the date's not confirmed yet, but that's again another collaboration between Link4Growth, who are helping to promote that, and a local charity. So that's just a couple of examples, and there's one up in there's a shop in the High Street up in Redcar, who I went to visit with Jerry, and the guy there called Nick, he's got this shop in the town centre, and I can't remember what the shop name is now, but it's a real community hub. They have different groups of people in there. They have a deaf community in there once a week. And I don't know whether, I think Jerry mentioned this on her show yesterday, but there was this, there was an initiative over in the States where a chap was running a restaurant and he's opened it, and all the people in the restaurant that are working there are actually deaf, and the people who are ordering the food have to use sign language, which is on the menu, to actually order the food that they want. And taking that concept, that idea, Jerry was sort of mulling over how could we introduce something of a similar idea up there in this particular Mind, I think the name of the place is, Mind, up in this particular shop. I know she's working on that and looking at ways we can do that. And we're having an afternoon tea event there, which they're keeping open for us for between 2 and 4. They normally close at 2 for us to be able to host an event there. So I'm really looking forward to that and working with that organisation to raise their profile, but also help develop community up there.
Yeah, Jerry mentioned that yesterday. And she was also sort of saying the fact that everybody who works there is actually a volunteer. So any money that is spent in that particular shop and having your tea and everything else all goes to the charity. It isn't siphoned off to pay wages and things like that, which I think is awesome as well.
Yep, brilliant.
So what about subscriptions?
Right, okay. We're not that good, I don't think, explaining what subscription actually means in Link4Growth. And what I wanted to do was, I've been, as I say, out and about this week, and the way that, basically, a lot of people come to Link4Growth events, and they go away absolutely buzzing and saying this is just what we need in this country is Link4Growth. It really is what we need. And I say to these people that look, if you really believe in what we're doing and you want to come along to these events, there are things in Link4Growth that we have to provide. We have to provide banners. We have to provide these cards we were just talking about. We have to provide a platform for the forum. We have to provide a platform for the website. There are people doing work for Link4Growth, designers, people maintaining the databases, sending out newsletters. These are services that we have to pay for. And that £3 subscription is the contribution towards enabling Link4Growth to persist and continue and to grow. And without subscription, we can't do it. So I'm saying to people, if you're coming along and enjoying the events, please do subscribe and help us to continue to operate this fantastic platform, because without making that little step, which isn't everybody can afford, it's a cup of coffee, but it's not a lot of money, it just ensures that Link4Growth can continue to make this massive progress and deliver what we all know needs to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the way you were saying that. It's not about, because I think one of the problems is we tend to be preconditioned that if we join something, our brains immediately say, what's in it for me? What do I get in return? And I think sometimes people are not looking outside of the box. They're looking too sort of structured at, well, what do I get back for my £3 a month? Rather than looking at, this is not just about what you get back, which you do get back an awful lot, because you get raised visibility, you get discounts on training, we share your things out on the internet for you and build your audience and an awful lot more things. But it's also about your £3 is your commitment or your way of investing in what we're doing, which in effect is doing it for you and for your local community.
Yep, absolutely. So that's quite important, and there is a thread on there about what all the things you can get from Link4Growth as a subscriber, which is substantial, but really and truthfully, it really is just making that small commitment to say, I believe in what's happening here, I want to be part of it, and I want it to continue, because that, it is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And talking of that, you were saying people come along to events and they go away buzzing. What events can they go to this week?
Right, well, we've got breakfast in London on Monday at Marylebone High Street, Devonshire Place, I think it is. So if you're in town or you fancy a trip into town, that's always a great event. On Tuesday we've got Uxbridge, we've got Coventry, we've got Middlesbrough, and we've got Watford in Croxley Business Park. On Wednesday we've got Tame and Hemel. Thursday we've got Cardiff, Ealing and Watford Drinks. Friday we've got Barnet, and we've got the LinkedIn with Intent workshop that we were talking about earlier. On Saturday I'm down the market again with Alex as usual, so that's our Saturday event. So that's what's happening next week.
Cool. Lots of things going on then.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get to that bit that I have no idea what you're going to say to anybody, which is announcements. What are you announcing today, Chris?
Well, just one thing before I announce that thing. Don't forget the cookbook, the R4G cookbook. We've had one recipe submitted this week. That's going to be a pretty boring cookbook with just one recipe in it. So come on, folks. Get your recipes, your favourite family recipes out, or things you like to cook, and they're nutritious and healthy and made from fresh ingredients and simple to do. Get them in there so we can include them in that book. Because now the other book's out, of course we've got to focus on that book. The other thing is...
Sorry, can I just interrupt you there? Talking about the cookbook, you say get your recipes in. Maybe it would be useful if we told people how they can share their recipes, where they can share them.
On the forum, there's a thread actually that Alex started, but there is another thread which we need to make more prominent, I think, which is the second thread he raised, which was put your recipes in here, folks, because the recipe that has been submitted is in the wrong thread. So I'm gonna have to move that, but there you go. So, but yeah, good point.
Okay, good. Move on.
Right, okay, now I'm going to make an announcement here because I want to step down as the person doing the national TV show. And I want to open it up to alternative options, all right? So I'm not saying I'm going to step down next week, but what I am going to do is I am going to introduce the concept of a different approach. There are the news show per se doesn't need to be that long if it's updates about what's going on, but what we do need is another more participative show as well. Now, how that manifests itself and what it looks like is yet to be decided, but I think that I just want to throw it out there because we've got obviously we've got the community where we can start to discuss stuff like this now, and I want to just I think that I've been doing this is the 86th or 83rd show. And I want to just change the format because what I want to do is I want this to be a fairly short show, and I want to make sure that most people that are in Link4Growth do actually watch it, because having gone around most of a lot of the events this week, hardly anybody that I've met have actually seen the show or know of its existence. So we've got to improve, we've got to get better at it, and my connection is rubbish, and as I keep getting told by Alex, I'm rubbish on these shows too. so okay, if I'm rubbish, I can take a hint when I'm told. I think that the time has come for me to actually move away or to the side of this. I don't mind coming on every now and then, but I think that we need to move on and let somebody else do that. So anyway, we're open to suggestions. That's the great thing about Link4Growth. Nothing has to be fixed or stay where it is. We've got to move on. We've got to progress. So I'm just saying that there's change in the wind.
Awesome. So I'm quite interested to see how that actually evolves. And whilst we're talking about the TV and change on the news updates, I just would like to throw in here as an announcement that we are also in the background, we are actually planning several different versions of a 6-week TV show on different topics that we're not going to tell you what the topics are yet, but they're going to be very diverse and very appealing to people from different areas, from different mindsets, different hobbies, things like that. So look out for those coming, because they're going to be incredibly informative. Some will be educational, some will be informative but without the educational side of it. Some will be things that are just great fun as well, and we're building out that TV platform to bring things like that in. And what I wanted to say was, if you have an idea about a TV topic-based show or the kind of show that you would like to see us create or that you would like to create and have it on the national TV platform, do get in touch.
Yep, fantastic. So that's me. I'm done.
You're done. Good stuff. So short and sweet, brilliant. And at the moment, Chris and I will see you again next week.
Okay, bye now.